Do you also only see Obi-Wan every time Ewan McGregor appears in another movie?
That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The Kenobi Show is right on the doorstep, so I took the opportunity to rank the most iconic performances by Obi-Wan actor Ewan McGregor. Of course without Star Wars, because we all know that would not be a fair competition. So let's hop right in. Number 5. Moulin Rouge. The movie itself, well, either you hate it or you love it. That's mostly because of the silk romantic style and also due to the fact that it's a musical. And also a pretty goofy one sometimes. But Ewan McGregor's performance here is outstanding. He plays an English poet in Paris who falls in love with the dancer of a nightclub who is called Satine, and is originally promised to a rich and selfish aristocrat. So far, so standard romantic. But the most unique factor about Ewan McGregor, and also what makes his role here so iconic, are his singing abilities. I had no idea he had before watching this musical. And they alone are reason enough to give this movie a try. The very strong female main role, played by Nicole Kidman, was also one of the main inspirations for Obi-Wan's love interest in the Clone Wars, Satine Kryze. And now that I told you, you won't be able to unsee these parallels when you watch the movie. Number 4. The Impossible. The Impossible is arguably one of the most potentially emotional films that Ewan McGregor has ever starred in, showcasing the challenges that an average man goes through during a devastating disaster that threatens his family. The film centers around the true story of the 2004 tsunami that wrecked most of the coasts of Southeast Asia. McGregor and young Spider-Man faced numerous challenges here, but not only in the story, but also with their roles as actors. Playing real victims always comes with a responsibility to the actors, and here they certainly must depict some of the most mentally and physically terrifying moments imaginable. But director J.A. Bayona incorporated a large international cast, and McGregor works expertly at interacting with the many different characters who are caught up in this disaster. While some people enjoyed this film, it is easy to understand why it doesn't have high critic ratings, given it follows the general formula of a disaster movie. Number 3. I Love You, Philip Morris. The 2009 film is based on a true story and is about a gay man who drops into criminality to finance his expensive lifestyle. When he winds up in jail, the main character soon finds true love for the first time when he meets the seemingly ideal partner in McGregor's titular character, Philip Morris. Although he was initially looking forward to escaping prison, he soon fears having to leave Philip behind. McGregor had a difficult task to handle, as main actor Jim Carrey is a comedic dynamo who often steals the spotlight in the films he's in, with little room for his co-stars to shine. Even though this is Carrey's movie, it's McGregor, however, who does the subtle, important work that establishes the heart of the picture. And it's perhaps ironic that the greatest on-screen romance chemistry Ewan McGregor has achieved to date has been with Jim Carrey. Number 2. Beginners. Although Ewan McGregor is renowned for his ability to transform himself physically, portray prominent personalities, and amaze the viewer with his musical abilities, he's also able to step aside from the spotlight and play just a normal guy. Mike Mill's 2011 romantic comedy drama Beginners captured a realistic story of fathers and sons, relationship, sexuality, and growing older. McGregor stars as an artist who tries to deal with his complicated relationship with his father, who was diagnosed with cancer and has recently come out as homosexual.
I'm gay.
I remember him wearing a purple sweater when he told me this, but actually he wore a robe.
I'm gay.
While his own relationship and artistic pursuits get kind of put on the test, Ewan and his death-facing father craft a nuanced, extremely touching relationship as two men who learn to understand each other. Christopher Plummer, as the actor of the main father role, was one of the great movie stars and in Beginners delivered the kind of late career Oscar-winning performance that every actor yearns for, while McGregor is worthy of sharing the screen with him. Before we hop to the top spot, here are some honorable mentions. Did you realize that Ewan McGregor also starred in A Million Ways to Die in the West? But you have to take a pretty close look here.
You, why are you laughing?
I don't know. He was laughing.
Honestly, I originally wanted to put up a short list of another 5 or so good Ewan McGregor films in here that didn't quite make it into the ranking, but then I realized that no matter how good or bad the film is, Ewan McGregor's acting always stands out and is always very on point. And that's just because he's a pretty decent actor. So you won't really find any performance of him that is not in any way special, which makes pretty much all of them honorable mentions. Tell me in the comments now what your favorite McGregor performance is until the Kenobi Show finally arrives. And finally, at the top spot, Trainspotting. Ewan McGregor in large part owes his career to the great British filmmaker Danny Boyle, who gave him his first role in 1994's Shallow Grave. The success of this low-budget thriller established McGregor in Britain's acting scene and helped introduce him to a larger mainstream audience. However, both Boyle and McGregor would see their careers taken to the next level with the 1996 adaptation of Irvine Welsh's novel Trainspotting. The result was one of the most important independent films of the 90s, a stylized and bold barrier breaker that became an international success. Trainspotting is one of the most in-depth depictions of drug culture ever seen on film, as an alternate universe where Obi-Wan didn't say no to death sticks.
You wanna buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't wanna sell you death sticks.
A strange growing up story of sorts, the film centers around friends as they indulge in drug abuse and run away from the police. We also get to see how soon their free-natured lifestyle becomes damaging and ruins their lives. Trainspotting forced McGregor to go through the emotional struggle as his character learns to leave his friends behind, delivering some of the most brilliant monologues of his career. The parody of the Choose Life anti-drug campaign is also utilized throughout and pays off wonderfully in the film's emotional conclusion. And to be honest, I still only see Obi-Wan every time I see Ewan McGregor in another movie.
Hello there.
General Kenobi!